Good morning, everyone. My name is Amanda Waldhart, and you are here with Amanda'sInspirationStation.com. And today is our weekly Wednesday. It is November 11th, and I have two really cute Christmas cards that I want to show you today. So we're going to use two stamp sets today. We are going to use the Warm and Toasty cling stamp set. I just love the polar bear. And I also love the reindeer, so we're going to make two cards using that. But then the other stamp set that we're going to use, because we're going to add on a few elements to this, is from the Press-On stamp set. I love coffee, I love hot chocolate, I love chai latte, so of course I love this stamp set. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here is the first card that we are going to make. And it is, it says Warm and Toasty wishes to you. And we have the little polar bear and he's holding a hot chocolate. It's so cute. And I don't know if you can see this inside or not, but I used Wink Stella here on him. I'm trying to look on my iPad here to see if it shows, but I don't think it really is showing. Okay, and then the other one that we're doing is we're going to do the cute little reindeer. And we are using Wink Stella on his bow, or her bow. Kind of looks like a girl to me. I kind of made her girly. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And let's go ahead and start with her. You are going to need a few pieces here. So we are using Whisper White cardstock, but we are using the thick. And it is cut at 8.5 by 5.5. So basically you just take one of your pieces of paper and you cut it in half at 5.5. Then you're going to score it at 4.25, okay? Use your bone folder to go ahead and make the creases flat. Then you're going to need a piece of shaded spruce. Now this measures at 4.25 by 5. That's going to be our second layer here. And then I have a couple other pieces of designer series paper here. And this one is from our new curvy Christmas bundle. Designer series paper 6x6, and this one here measures at 2 by 5, and this strip here measures at 3.25 by 5. And then you're also going to need a piece of Whisper White to measure at 1 by 4. Now I've gone ahead and cut out a little notch here. You're going to need a scrap piece of Whisper White paper here because we are going to stamp Sharing Christmas Cheer. And we're going to stamp that, and then we're going to use the 1.5-inch circle to punch that out. Then from the layering ovals, we have this scallop oval. And from the stitched shapes, we have the stitched oval. That's going to be white on white, and we are going to pop that up using dimensionals. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp the image first. So I'm going to get out my Memento ink pad. And I am going to get out my little reindeer. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to ink her up. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put her on the stitched oval. Just like that. All right, we're just going to set her aside for just a second. We're also going to go ahead and, since we're stamping, let's go ahead and stamp everything first and then we'll put the card together. So I'm going to get my shaded spruce ink pad out. And I want the Sharing Christmas Cheer. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp that. It doesn't matter if it's a little crooked. Mine, you might not be able to tell, but it is. But it's okay because we are using a 1.5-inch circle punch. And we can get it so that it won't be. All right, so let's get that in there like that, and we're going to punch that out. There we go. All right, that piece is done. All right, so let's go ahead and let's color our reindeer. What I use to color her in is the light and dark crumb cake, and then I use the dark cherry cobbler and the dark shaded spruce. So I'm going to use a dark crumb cake for and I don't even know if she is a girl, but she just looks cute with the glitter bow. And I wanted to put Wink Stella on her bow. So we're going to say she's a girl. All right, we're going to use the dark crumb cake for the bottom of her hooves here, and then also for her antlers. And then we're going to use the light crumb cake for all over. I think this stamp set is so cute. All right. I'm just going to color. We're going to skip the bow because that is in Cherry Cobbler. And we're going to color in the rest of her here. We're almost done. All right, now we just need the Cherry Cobbler for the bow. And I went with the dark because I really wanted it to be a deep red. So we're going to go ahead and do that. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get out my Wink of Stella, and I am going to do that over the bow. There we go. Oh, adorable. I love it. So cute. See, look at that. Beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and put our card together. So we're going to attach our first layer on with the shaded spruce. And I am not popping this up with dimensionals. I'm actually just putting this one on flat. I'm just going to center it so that we have the white border. I'm also going to just put on all the Designer Series paper here on flat. And I do want to make sure there is a little bit of the shaded spruce on this side though. So when I do this, I'm going to leave a little room. And because it's not 5 1/4, it's only 5, I'm actually wanting to leave a little room of the shaded spruce cardstock on the bottom, a little on the side, and a little on the top. And then I'm just going to line this piece up right next to it. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our banner flat as well. Now that can go all the way over to the edge of the shaded spruce here. I want that to go all the way to the edge. All right. Now let's get out some dimensionals because we're going to want to put this on top of our, again, we're doing the white on white, and we want to put it on the top here. Just like, oops, a little piece under there, just like that. And now I want to flip this over because I want to pop this up too. I really kind of want to give it some height, especially because the oval and the circle are the only two things that I am giving height. The rest of everything else is going to be flat. So I want to make sure that I'm giving these dimensionals on both. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and place that over there like that. And then we're going to place this down in the corner like this. Now I did put a little real red rhinestone here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to place that over to the side there, just to give it a little something. All right, so there is our first card. So cute, and that wasn't hard. I like easy cards. All right, so let's go ahead and do our second one. Our second one has a couple more steps with him because we are going to stamp the coffee. So let's get this out. So first of all, our card base is the same measurements as the first one. It's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and then we're going to score it at 4 1/4. And now I have a piece of Whisper White, and this measures at 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to place this on the inside, okay? That way it's just light inside if I want to stamp a sentiment in there, or if I want to write in there. Sure, crumb cake isn't that dark of a color, so you could just write over your crumb cake, but I just like to put it in there. All right, so let's do that. Now we have 3 pieces here that are designer series, still from that same group, and we're going to use the side with the stars. And I wrote the measurements down here on the back because I would have never remembered. So this one is 5 by 1 inch. This one, I'm so sorry. This one here is 5 by 1/4, 5 1/4 by 1/4. And then this one is 4 1/2 by 1/3. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place these down now. And I'm just going to kind of leave some space. I like to do bottom and work my way up. That's just kind of how I roll with my cards, because I don't want to get to the top or to the bottom and not have enough room. But at the same point, I guess you could say that about starting with the top. And I'm just lining these up like edge to edge with each other, just like that. All right, now this piece, our shaded spruce, this measures at 3 3/4 by 2 1/4, and this is 3 1/2 by 2 1/4. This is just a scrap piece of paper here. This is what we're going to use to stamp our coffee. So let's go ahead and let's stamp our coffee right now. And I'm going to use the Memento. And we're going to only cut one of these out, but I want to stamp the whole thing, meaning I could have just taken a smaller piece of Whisper White and just stamped kind of the middle. But I thought, you know what? If I wanted to color these, or once I cut this center one out, if I want to set these aside, I could use these for another card and color these out. So that's what I did. All right, so while we're stamping, let's go ahead and continue to stamp, because we got to do our polar bear. He's so cute. I know this seems weird. Most people like stamp going this way. I like to do it this way, more so when I'm using black, and I will tell you why. Because when I'm looking at the solid part of his ice skates that are black, I want to make sure that I get the ink. I want to make sure I get it really inked up so that it looks jet black. I don't want it to be like faded or half black. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp that image. See? There you go. Yay. All right. So now we need to do some coloring. And we're using the same colors as we did before, except for we're not using the light crumb cake. So now we're just going to do the dark crumb cake, the dark cherry cobbler, and the dark shaded spruce. So of course my heart has to be red. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color in my heart here. And then I'm going to do the top part of his hat here, like the base red. And then I'm going to do this part red. And it doesn't matter. I mean, you can do it however you want. I'm just picking the stripe part, the stripes that are on. I'm doing every one between red and the shaded spruce. And then the part that doesn't have the little stripes, I'm using that as the crumb cake. All right, so now we're going to do the dark shaded spruce. Like that. And I just got a little bit in a spot I didn't want to, and I know you probably can't see that on camera, and I'm glad for that. But the best part is I can use this color lifter here to lift it up. All right, so let's color in the hat while I have the green. And I'm going to do the little pom-pom and the base part in the green. There we go. And my color lifter kind of like bled right there. Don't know what that's about. I mean, it was clear, but all right, so now I'm going to use I'm going to let that dry for just a second, and we're going to go back to that because what I'm going to do is up here, I'm going to stamp the warm and toasty while I let that dry. So I'm just going to ink up this, and we'll stamp our warm and toasty image up here. Perfect. All right. Now, ooh, almost forgot. Got to do this part of the cup in green. All right, and then we're going to need our paper snips here. So we're going to get these out, and we're just going to cut around. And this, I know they're little, but this is not a hard fussy cut at all. Because of the angles on the cup, it's pretty easy. There we go. So now, here, I'm just going to cut off that little garbage part. Now, if I wanted to save these 4 pieces, I could save these. And a lot of times I will just put them in here. I may put like an envelope and set them in the envelope and just set the envelope in here. That's generally what I do if I ever have any extra pieces. That way when I go to use the set again, I'm like, oh, there's extra pieces in here. Maybe I could use that right now. So that's generally what I do with those. All right. So let's go ahead and snip this. And we're going to put our little, we're popping up the cup. I want to pop up his little coffee cup here. All right, so now I'm going to go back here and I'm going to fill this in with, I just wanted to let that dry because it kind of smeared a little bit. Why, I don't know. All right, now I want to Wink Estella him because I just think he'd be cute. Glittery. So we're going to make him glittery. Oh, look at that. I missed a spot on his scarf. There we go. So we're going to make him glittery. I feel like my Wink Estella is very glittery this time. All right. Kind of going to go in some circular motions here. Let this dry. This one's pretty glittery. All right. I'm just going to kind of... All right, so I want, again with this, I want to pop up not only the Whisper White onto, sorry, I like just spaced it there for a second. I want to pop up both. I want to pop up him on top of the shaded spruce, and then I want to pop up the shaded spruce too. So let's get this, get some dimensionals. Always put one in the middle. You do not want a saggy center. All right, so we're gonna do this, get these out of the way. All right, so now I'm just going to center that, and then we're going to pop this up right over here. Now I'm going to go over to the complete edge over here, but I don't want to go too high because I don't want to go higher than my section here, which I should have brought that down a little bit more. As you can see, I'm glad I did this actually so that I can show you guys. So this is the one that I just did. I just switched it. So I should have brought the base down a little bit further, because now if I went up higher to see this on the bottom, then I would have covered the sentiment. And I don't want to cover the sentiment, obviously. So really, I should have brought this down a little bit more. But that's okay. We got two different looks from this card, if you think about it. And like, if you like this look, you really don't even need to make your paper that long. You could just make it about half of that if you have like leftover scraps or whatever, and you can just tuck it underneath there. So it does kind of give you two different looks, which, hey, that works too. All right, so these are our weekly Wednesday projects. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Again, this is the Warm and Toasty, and then we also used the press-on. You can shop with me at amandasinspirationstation.com. That is my blog, but you can click shop now and it'll take you directly to my website link. If you have any questions for anything, just let me know. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great day. Bye.